and online, WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. We're having a good day. Terry Henney here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Dent, wearing hat number 3.
Yeah.
You started what time this morning?
I got here at 4:30, somewhere in there.
Oh, well, I can understand. You wanted to get here before it got hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked out of my house around 3:30, and I walked out there. I'm like, I might need a sweatshirt. No. It was already like my ideal temperature at 3:30 a.m. So,
well, we had a little bit of an east breeze, so that did help, especially where you're coming from. Most people did enjoy. But I'm telling you right now, we do have still an east breeze, but it's not really affecting our temperatures. What are we looking at right now?
Well, right now out at the airport, they're looking at 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Downtown Midlands at 81. Here at Radio Center, we're also at 80 degrees, both outside and in some of our rooms, with that east wind at 7 miles per hour. Barometric pressure falling. Right now it's at 30.13.
I walked in this morning with a sport coat on. I got 2 steps in, and one of the folks that was in the cafeteria said, you can take your jacket off now.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's going to be plenty warm in here. The guys are working on it, but as always, they're probably going to have to get a part. A lot of farmers go through this all the time.
Oh, yes.
Get it all tore apart. You got to have a part, and you got to go looking for it. So that's what they're doing. And hopefully, if you have air conditioning, it's working all right. But there is a little light at the end of the tunnel. We are going to be looking at temperatures moderating just a little bit. We had, oh boy, I've got 2 hands full of fingers here, and I needed about another 4 to total up all of the cities that hit 90 degrees yesterday. And in some parts of Saginaw, we did see readings of 92,
wow,
which was pretty warm, even statewide. And I'm talking not only the lower peninsula, but also the upper peninsula. And just to kind of give you an idea right now, I don't know if you noticed, Jonathan, but up in the UP, we've got some cities up there that are in the upper 70s and the low 80s right now. If you want to cool down a little bit, Copper Harbor this hour is 51. And Munising is 63. Houghton is 68. And then it's onward and upward. Iron Mountain is right now warmer than what we are. Currently, it's 84 at Iron Mountain. Now, tonight, we're going to drop down about where we usually have been, 60, 61, 62, and we'll have a little bit of a breeze coming out of the northeast. But then as we move into the day tomorrow, we're going to see more of a sun, but a few clouds around. That's going to help temper the temperature just a little bit. So we're looking for a high of about 82, 83 tomorrow, 55 for a low tomorrow night. So very pleasant. Matter of fact, for some of you, might be even a little chilly when you think about the weather that we've been having. Sunday, 80, 82, sunshine. Sunday night, we'll drop down to about 55. Then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, little if any chance of rain. All of those days. Matter of fact, right now, it looks to me like the best chance of seeing precipitation is going to be the week of the 12th of June.
Really?
So we're looking at another good solid 7 days of not seeing anything in the way of precipitation. And the humidity levels are going to continue to be relatively low. I didn't have a chance to look, but I think our humidity was right around 50%. I think.
Yeah, right now we're at 52, and that's on the high end for the state looking around, too.
Yeah. So we're getting a little, and that's the reason why, and we touched on this yesterday, the alerts as far as air are concerned, taking place now in areas not so much here and over in Michigan's upper thumb as it is in southern Michigan and on the west side of the state. And there is going to be an opportunity, really, of a very spotty light sprinkle in those same areas where they're having the higher humidity. So I hope for their sake they're getting a little bit of rain. Obviously, we could stand it. But at this stage of the game, it does appear as though the dry weather here in Michigan is just indicative of what we're seeing in the central part of the continental United States. Because where we were looking at losing all of those crop values on the Chicago Board of Trade, we've seen the last few days some positives, some pretty strong upward movement. That's because some of those long-range forecasters are doubting the chances of precipitation that they had written in as far as trading is concerned. And they're not so confident anymore. The other thing, and this is something that many of us probably don't think too much of, but yesterday was the beginning of hurricane season. And unless you have property down in Florida and going through what you went through down there, you're not really thinking too much and worrying too much about that. There is a tropical system that has developed in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, to give you an idea of just how strong this dry weather is, for the first time, and a lot of folks are telling me it's been a long time, that this low pressure system is going to be dropping south. Usually it's northwest into Texas, it's north into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, or northeast into the panhandle of Florida, or east like we've seen the past few years. No, this thing is dropping right straight south, and it's actually going to affect the weather in western Cuba.
Really?
As we move through the weekend and first part of the work week next week. And some folks are saying that for the first time in decades, Jamaica is actually going to see some hurricane-like type weather. It won't be hurricane, but it'll be a tropical storm. Normally, they don't have weather like that, especially now. So this dry weather is very dry. It's going to stay dry for a lot of the major crop production areas here in the country. And it's indicative of just how strong this whole dry weather system is when it literally forces a tropical storm to drop south.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to be in for a dry spell, something that, and a heat spell, something like we haven't seen, as we mentioned a couple of days ago, 1995. Well, it was about 28 years ago. And that's when we saw the Memorial Day weather very similar to what we had, and the very dry conditions for at least the first half of summer, and extreme high and heat indice type weather the middle of July. So we'll just keep our eyes on it and see how everything develops. But that in a nutshell is what we're looking at weather-wise. Record high in the state is 93, set back in 1919. We stand a chance. Record low, 38, set in 1926. No chance at all there. Sun will set this evening, 9:11. Rise tomorrow morning at 5:57. A year ago, it was normal. 75 was our high, 54 was our low, and that's what's average for this time of the year. We're talking about warm. The warmest ever, June the 2nd, was set back in 1919. Our high was 93 and our low was 71.
Wow.
And that was, for a June the 2nd, the warmest ever in recorded history here in the immediate Great Lakes Bay area. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, we'll
be heading over to Star of the West and speaking with Gary Kaufman. He'll start off our end of the week market report here, and then we'll head over to Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. All of that's ahead, but first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the Michigan Wheat Program. Now it's registration time for Michigan Wheat Program Summer Field Day. It's going to be June the 14th. This year's event is going to be down at MSU. It'll be at the Plant Pathology Research Center. That's at 3735 College Road. Starts at 8:15 with a breakfast. You can tour the research plots and the variety trials and talk to a lot of the professors and researchers down there as well at Michigan State University. To register, to get a little bit more information, just go to their website at miwheat.org. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West, where they have a little interest in the wheat crop. Morning, Gary.
Hey, good morning there, Terry.
Wheat is looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, it is not too bad. I know some of the lighter soils, maybe we're seeing a little bit of, different tone on those acres, but overall, with our good growth going into dormancy last fall, getting 2 to 3 tillers on a lot of wheat crop around the area here, gave us a good root system to withstand some of this dry weather that we're getting, Terry. So.
Well, and the other nice thing too is the wheat. I've seen some pretty short varieties, and I've seen some what I think is normal length varieties. You got a good canopy there, so you don't get the evaporative loss in a wheat crop like you would some of the other crops where they're just struggling to get out of the ground right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. I know over the years when we've had some of the dry weather, if you walk through the fields, you get some of these pretty good cracks, and you pull some of them wheat stalks out of the ground, and they're, and you look in there, and they're still pretty green. So.
Yep. And as far as our markets are concerned, what are we trading on right now, Gary?
Well, of course, like you mentioned earlier in the week, crop progress report came out on Tuesday this week versus Monday, and we were, market was kind of trading that, and with the progress that we've had and ahead of schedule, and North Dakota, coming, I think they plan at like 40% in like a week, so the market was kind of down earlier in the week, but here in the midweek to the latter part of the week, of course, the traders, like I think you mentioned, start looking at some of these drier forecasts, and we're putting some weather premium back into the market. So it's kind of been a choppy up and down week, but if you look at last Friday's closes to where we are at the noon hour here today, wheat's down about 10 for the week. Actually, corn's down 17 on cash for the week, and soybeans are up about 6 for the week. So, and we've seen kind of both sides of the market here again today, but we got a couple negatives on corn and wheat, and actually soybeans are a positive here right now, as we said. But right now, Terry, cash wheat, let's call it down 2 at 574 in the white, 524 in the red. New crop also down 2 at 584 on the white, 534 on the red. Cash corn currently down 4 at 554. New crop down a penny at 469. Cash soybeans up 16 at 1305. And new crop, let's call it up a dime, Terry, at 1114.
I've been seeing a lot of dirt flying in the ground or out on the highway here lately. Guys are working their fields, and I just got a funny feeling that's probably maybe some dry beans, thinking about going in there, trying to get the soil ready to go. Other than maybe a couple of plots here and there, I think some producers are just holding on.
Yeah, that's it. You look at dry bean acres. Yeah, some guys are planting in right now. Some guys are waiting. So it's kind of a mixed bag, depending how everybody feels based on their soil types and conditions and whatnot. But yeah, you're right, Terry. Some of the field activity is definitely dry bean planting going on for sure. So.
And as far as the soybeans are concerned, I don't know what you're seeing, but what I've seen is a few of them peeking out of the ground. But that's about it. Yeah,
no, you're dead on, Terry. Yeah, there's you drive down the highway, you can see a few rows starting to appear for sure. So
And the corn, a little bit taller, but not much.
not much, exactly. They're trying to. The plants have their own secret system. I guess they'll grow according to moisture content. I think so.
Well, and again, I've had a chance to talk to a few people where they talk about the hybrids, and some of these hybrids, they're breeding in some drought conditioning with the hybrids. So with not as much moisture, they still can perform. But when you have no moisture at all, I don't care what kind of technology you put into it. If you don't have water, it doesn't go.
Yeah, drought-resistant varieties only go so far for sure. So
I guess so. Well, you have a great weekend. Understand that Frankenmuth is going to be busy with Bavarian Festival preparation coming up this weekend.
yeah. There's always a lot going on in this town, that's for sure. So
every day, every weekend, in town, out town, all around. Gary, take care. We'll talk to you on Monday. All right.
right, sounds good. You as well, Terry.
You bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more now. Doug Klein joining us.
Yep, we will say good morning to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report today brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 15, 25, or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, the Great Lakes Bay's certified ag dealer. They specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans. Ordering is now the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank and Trust. They've been making agricultural loans since 1895. Farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding. Thumb Bank and Trust helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, now with 13 locations through the Thumb and Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. We say good morning to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. Doug, how's it going?
Well, things are going pretty good. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're not doing bad. I had a chance to take a look at the New York markets a little bit earlier, and boy, the Dow Jones was having a whopping day so far.
Yeah, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ all going up. NASDAQ, the least of them, is up 0.75%, but the S&P up 1.25%. The Dow's up over 1.5%, and I checked on the S&P, and it's only 45 points away from a new high for the year. So it's trading at 42.76, and about 43.25 or so is their high for the year. So kind of lets you know that money's starting to flow back into the stock markets. Crude oil's up $1 today, so I think that was something to do with the Saudis talking again about warning speculators not to mess with in their realm. Fertilizer stocks are making a little bit of a comeback. DuPont had a good earnings report, so they're up about 7% today. So they're having a good day. Precious metals kind of giving it back today. Kind of had a pretty good rally over the last 2 days, so maybe just taking a little off the table. But the jobs report came in, and it was better than expected. So kind of solidifies the rate hike that they're looking for. I think it's June 14th. So the odds were 49 to 51 for and against the rate hike, but now I think it's much higher, that they're probably going to do the rate hike just because the jobs report came in quite solid. So good news is bad news, I guess, but I don't know. Anyway, here's your numbers. July corn, 587.5, down a nickel. The December corn is 527 3/4, down 2 1/4. July soybeans, 1343 3/4, up 14 1/4. November soybeans, 1177 1/4, up 8 1/4. The July wheat is 606 1/4, up down 4 1/2, and December wheat is 639 1/2, down 4 1/4. Crude oil 71.21 is up $1.11. Heating oil is 234.68, up 3 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 246.81, that's up 3 1/4 cents. Petrol gas is 219 1/4, that's up 3.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.34.47 at the border, that's down 3 ticks. The dollar buys 139.80 yen. That's up 101 ticks. The euro's at 107.16, down 45 ticks. The dollar's at 103.90. That's up 35 ticks. Gold's at 1962.30, down $15.70. Silver's 23.79, down 19.25 cents. Platinum's at $1,007.40. That's down $2.70. Copper's making a little bit of a rally, 371.5. That's up just a little bit.
All right.
So
You have a nice weekend, Doug.
thanks. Yep, you too.
Yep, we'll talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Kim Weiss from Lingle Equipment joining us right now, Jonathan, and I got a funny feeling he's going to make our lawn mowing go a little bit quicker so we can enjoy this nice weather, right?
That's for sure, Terry. Good morning to you and Jonathan. And yes, we had a Kubota truck rolled in here yesterday, and he had a couple of commercial homeowner zero-turn lawnmowers. The Z242 KW48. It's a 22-horse Kawasaki engine with air-cooled V-twin commercial transaxle, and these have the new K-Ride Comfort System seat system with armrests. I can't believe I drove one. I can't believe how nice and smooth it is. The last thing you want to do is get beat up mowing lawn yet after you've got worked all day and got just worked over at work. So get into something like this. It rides like the Cadillac of lawnmowers. It's got a 48-inch Pro commercial mower deck. Beautiful machine. It's got special rate financing. You can own that machine for $120 a month. Come in and see me here at Lingle Equipment right alongside I-75, just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge off the Washington Road exit. Give me a call at 989-754-7801 or send me an email and I'll send you the information back at k.weiss, W-E-I-S-S, at lingle1.com.
So we can mow the lawn in comfort, listen to the Tiger game, and then after that, get a little refreshment.
Yeah, take a dip in the swimming pool or something.
Hey, there you go. Kim, you have a nice weekend, okay?
Hey, Terry, I got a question to ask you. You try and figure that out. What is this dry weather doing to the next crop that's going to be harvested? Strawberries. Are they taking a beating too? Check it out for me.
Yeah, they are. They're taking a beating, but some still do have irrigation capability.
Yeah.
So they've been putting straw around the plants too. So they're working on it.
Because we always pick strawberries during Bavarian Festival, and that's next weekend. So They got to be getting close.
Yeah, they are real close. Kim, you take care. All righty.
Take care, Terry. Go Tigers.
There you go. Kim Weiss over at Lingle Equipment. Chuck Cervinski, Maple Hill Nursery, joining me right now. And Chuck, let's talk a little bit about water.
Yeah, it's imperative right now that we water our trees and shrubs on a regular basis because we just have not had the rainfall. We've got temperatures that we don't normally see until July. And a good rule of thumb is to water every other day and keep plants moist, but right now that's not even enough. It's almost a daily thing. A typical sprinkler system is great, but it's not adequate for newly planted trees and shrubs because it's not getting down to the bottom of the roots like we need to. So watering by hand is still going to be the most effective way right now to water those new plants, and it gets the water down to the base of the root system, and the chance for evaporation is minimal when you can do it that way.
And mowing lawns?
Or watering the lawn. Most of our lawns are, of course, cool season grasses like fescues and perennial rye, and watering is imperative in order to maintain a good turf stand and control weed growth as well. And a lawn right now needs about 1 inch of water per week. It's best to water early in the morning to avoid evaporation. It will also ensure that the grass dries off quickly in order to minimize diseases like fungus and things like that.
Good advice. Chuck, you have a nice weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Will do. Chuck Cervinski over at Maple Hill. Hey, corn and soybean planting winding down. Post herbicide application season is here. Get a hold of Vic over at Freeland Bean and Grain. He's a certified crop advisor. Schedule your needs, scout your fields. They can do it. 2 sprayer units ready to help you control weed pressure and apply foliar products. Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983. Serving you is their business. Stephanie Zlinko with AgriLiquid on the phone with us right now. Stephanie, I got a funny feeling you're going to talk about some dirt exchange from one field to another. Boy, it is dry out there, isn't it?
It is dry, and the little bit of breeze that we have with these hot temperatures aren't helping things at all.
So at this stage of the game, what are you advising producers to do?
Well, at this point in time, most of the crops, should be in at this point, and starting to come up. We've, in our area, have been finished up here for just over a week or so, week to 10 days. Things kind of started getting wrapped up. So corn is at V1, maybe V2 growth stage. Some of it's a little bit further along. Soybeans are just starting to emerge. So post applications, if you're going across with a herbicide pass, now's a good time to start adding some additional foliar feed in. When I think of drought, I think potassium. That helps with water regulation in the plant. So a good opportunity to get some additional potassium out there, maybe to help get that plant through some of these stressful periods that we're having until we get that next rainfall.
Hey, good thoughts. Stephanie, you have a nice weekend. Stay cool, all right?
You too. Thanks.
You bet. Stephanie Zelenko from AgriLiquid. So in a nutshell, Jonathan, we're looking at some dry weather for the weekend, so get out and enjoy, okay?
Absolutely.
I think you're going to need it. A little bit of sleep, too.
Get some
huh?
vitamin D.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we'll be back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.